Why are you making me do this, you fat, fucking, miserable piece of shit?
What, Tony? What?
When did they flip you? Tell me. Don't lie.
Flip? Who? What?
Her heart will sing, sing-a-ling, wearing baubles, bangles, and beads. She'll glitter and gleam so. By her
They had me, Tony.
I've heard.
Jesus Christ. I gotta sit down. I feel like I can't stand. Is that okay, Tony? Did I sit?
Ladies and gentlemen, John Laurinaitis, the right-hand man of Vince McMahon. And just to show you that I'm not pulling this out of my ass, there is indeed, apparently, allegedly, new information about the Janelle Grant and Vince McMahon case. It's being said that John Laurinaitis, that was a co-defendant along with Vince McMahon in the sexual assault, sexual trafficking allegations in the case, is that he's agreeing to work with and even apparently has evidence against Vince McMahon to corroborate and basically be let go while also being dropped from the case. Alright, y'all, here we go. That's all that wide. Let's get down to business. Okay, but so, yeah, John Laurinaitis, and because I wanted first off the rip too, because even as all this is coming out, before and after, no, it's being hit by y'all timeline, but of course my version and us being here, just giving my context and what I think on it. But of course, I just want to first also just put that out there, even when at the time as I was going, because I also do have a first channel too that I had on here before moving on to this one, but which is a long story. But I also just I want to say first of all too, because I know you got when it comes to just sniveling snakes like a Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp, you have to take this lightly, and you have to be advised and be aware. Because I said we all know, especially now, because when it comes to the internet, how shit goes, and how I even admit to myself that I've even been played around a little bit. I do, yeah. Like, I can take a test to that and admit that about those mistakes that I have made in the past, that I of course wish that I can take back. But I said of course, anybody can call themselves a journalist nowadays. Anybody can go around and say they're the news when we know they're not. And regardless too, but I just feel like if you're gonna regard yourself as such and say you have this and that, then you really have to be extremely credible, and you have to put yourself in a position that people can actually trust, and actually want the information that they're being fed to, that they're actually being fed to at the moment, that they can actually believe, and that it's credible to a point to where they can take it on a serious note. And I feel like that I have to say that after like I said, coming on here and being like that at first, because like I said, we all know how the internet works, especially when you have websites, especially like somebody like Elon taking over Twitter and turning it into what it is now, to where you have, of course, you can literally be paid. You can be paid for doing such as doing this, So, yeah, I just wanted to make it that very clear and on point, and just be that, because I said, of course, when it comes to situations like these, we know it can happen, and like I said, by this point, we already know how the internet works and how low people can go for that and be as slime ballish. So I just wanted to make y'all aware of that too. Even though I said, because given this situation, it's like very, of course, a powerful, very highly publicized people involved, such as a Vince McMahon. Yeah, just wanted to be that clear, cutthroat with y'all, to be honest. So, but yeah, getting into it. But yeah, John Laurinaitis, what I just showed y'all there is, he apparently is. Of course, I'm just keeping it to allegedly, because it's not like it's not like we're in the courtroom. It's not like we're there with them, so and really know what's going on. So, yeah, John Laurinaitis is apparently it's being said that he has evidence and he's agreeing to work, basically taking a plea deal, is what it sounds like is, and actually to have something with Vince McMahon and to work something out, and basically joining the team now of Janelle Grant, and basically trying to feed him, throwing him under the bus to their lawyers. And because even at the time too, I said I was gonna, I said because it got to a point to where it was just being dragged out. You had this happen. You had, of course, apparently that the whole case, which most likely will still happen, but I'm just saying that that's also, but it's been going on for 3 years now. Yes, of course, started in 2022. It's at this point now in 2025. And by approaching June 2025. So I think Price Hall probably started near the end of 2022, of course. But what I feel like, because I know, I think I remember when Triple H was appointed head of creative in July 2022. But it's probably started still but and like I said, this has been going. It's been going on for three years now. It's been going on. Like I said, this has happened, and apparently where it got to it where it's what was said that all the charges were going to be dropped, and then it went to that it was going to postpone. The case was going to wait. And things among that nature. And I feel because I didn't want to, I said, unless that, I think I said, I said, believe I said it at the time also as well, that, until, something new comes out and really groundbreaking to really anything to talk about, that I was going to get my point. I was going to, we was going to get to that too. And a long story too when it comes to the first channel, because that's where I was basically, that's where the videos initially too, where I was covering that. But I mean, we got something new. We got an update, and now we're hearing it with John Laurinaitis apparently taking the stand and basically being Janelle Grant's lawyers, being the key witness, and basically taking going head to head, taking the battle against Vince. And because I mean, it has been a ride. It has been pretty a story too to behold over these last 3 years. And of course, we know initially what happened. And like I said, the people being involved apparently that when you talk about Brock, apparently allegedly being involved, and I mean, look, I mean, people can have what they have. I don't give a fuck too. I believe I've said it also numerous times too, but apparently that I'm still relatively new. Of course, this is a channel too where people have just also still discovering me. But there's things that we know. Of course, we know too that which I feel like Vince is really guilty of, the shit that under wraps that has been over. He has across his tied to his career and shit that he's done that we can far worse shit. I mean, this will still be on a bigger scale, but far more actual shit, worse shit that he's done that we can hold him accountable for. And that part of the reason why I also have a lens, and to where I have, I look at him in a different, much more so, always did, looked at him in a different light. Come to, especially, the past 5 years, when it comes to Vince McMahon. But this, I mean, as I stood on it up until all this time, which I still believe, it is a he said, she said, to where whoever will believe, and which most cases that we've seen like this too, when it comes to just, of course, I mean, it being sexual, whether or not it was a consensual relationship, and basically just of course, when it comes to the female, or whether you want to say the person, or in this case, the female, which always, when it comes to the big powerful, or just where the person that, and in this case Vince McMahon, that they're going after just wants money. Because of course they had a disagreement, or they had somewhere else, and I know all because they had a disagreement, and now it's erupted into something else, and it's erupted, and it's just the price of it being where it is now. And of course, people are not going to like that, like what I'm saying. And of course, I'm going to call all the names. Like I said, I already know too, when it comes to, you're either a part of the mob or you're not too. I feel like, of course, when it comes to the IWC, especially now, just wrestling fans today, where it becomes, where the hate, you probably have older fans too that have a certain disdain too, but like, it's where the wrestling fans today, where it's all about fake outrage, and when it comes to whether it's a part of their narrative or not, that's where it's all about for them, and making it about themselves solely instead of the situation itself, which is pretty also fucked up in a way too, because they also prove that they're none better than Vince McMahon himself. And too, I wouldn't be surprised too, because John Laurinaitis too, he's had his life pretty much turned upside the fuck down too, a little bit. I heard too, like apparently this is like days after too, and after initially everything happening too. I'd be like, he divorced John Laurinaitis. He divorced his wife. Definitely, probably pretty sure that they like moved away from each other, and probably like barely has any contact with his children and everything like that. So he feels like, damn, I don't know, I'm just making up such as right here too. Just so you can take that as you will too. We can just say that like not really reality, but I'm just like, just me talking for a little bit. Is that basically he lost, like, his life has been flipped upwards, and he basically lost his wife. His life is ruined. Basically, probably could barely even like conversate with his family and have any contact. His, of course, friends and everything, and lost his job. Probably not that he probably like cared enough to begin with, being tied to Vince McMahon and how much money he was probably making. But still, so he's probably, John Laurinaitis, this has been going on for 3 years, by the way, to where his public image is probably already as shitty as it is, and people are having it out for him also, because he was one of the key people also, being at for amount of years of Vince McMahon's right hand man. And given this stance, he just wants it to be over at this point. And you have it to where now, apparently where he's joining Janelle Grant's lawyers, and gonna get, and potentially get, allegedly giving them what they want, essentially. Basically, join it, let's say, do anything just for all of it just to be over, basically. And I could definitely see it playing out that way. And we probably had to see it happen. But that is as far as what's going on with that right now, definitely. And as far as like any new update or anything, and I definitely wanted to also make this a part of the Tall series, The Truth About Pro Wrestling. And it's pretty. It's probably gonna get even more worse before it gets any good.